Is the sun rising appearing on the west? Do you know what this could mean? The idea of the sun rising from the west is not scientifically accurate. Why? Because mainstream theory is that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west due to Earth's rotation from west to east on its axis. But more and more people insist that this theory is not factual. Despite scientific concepts, simple observation contradicts those ideas. The exact rising and setting points vary slightly throughout the year, moving north or south of due east-west, except on the spring and fall equinoxes when the sun rises exactly due east and sets due west. Barring a catastrophic change to Earth's rotation, the sun will continue to rise in the east and set in the west as it always has. Any claims to the contrary are not supported by scientific evidence. Yet many people noticed in past few weeks sun rising more from the western side. This person claims that the sun would rise always at certain point of her view until this year when the rising is somewhere towards the west.
Y'all notice lately that the sun is illuminating the entire world at once these days? I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I remember being taught that the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. Okay, cool. So why is it now that when the sun rises at 6:49 in Japan, the sun is still up in the west? And I figured this out by watching a live where the streamer was streaming from Japan. And the sun was high in the sky while she was on stream. The sun was also up in the sky where I was. And it was 6. And the sun does not set here until 8:59. So the sun was going to be up in the sky for 3 more hours. It's weird how times are changing. And no one's trying to explain it. They're just like, no one will notice. But the sun is illuminating the entire world at once. And I haven't heard nothing about it.
It's definitely baffling.
How is the sun over there 3 hours after sunrise and will now be moving in this direction, when at the same season last year the sun was over there at that time? And I know because this is always the same time when I am up and looking that way.
So I guess the question is, what would happen if the sun rises from the west? According to Islamic teachings, sun rising from the west is a significant sign of end of times. Are we going to experience this in our lifetime? The Prophet Muhammad is reported to have said that one of the signs of the last hour is that the sun will rise from the west. This event is interpreted by some scholars as a literal occurrence that will happen at the end times. Once the sun rises from the west, repentance will no longer be accepted. This is based on hadiths stating that the door of repentance will close after this event. Some scholars have attempted to reconcile this prophecy with scientific phenomena like pole shifts or changes in the Earth's magnetic field. But science claims these events will not change the sun rising point, because they base their claims on the fact we are living on a spinning tilted Earth. But many people claim things can be different that we are being thought. Hence we see events like sun rising moving towards the west. The Quran mentions that when certain signs appear, faith will not benefit those who did not believe before, which some commentators relate to the sun rising from the west. It is believed that when this will occur we will be at the edge of end of times. Many people are noticing this change in sun position and wonder if this phenomenon has begun to form. Of course it would take time for the sun to reach that point of rising, however just the fact that people are noticing it brings this concept to attention. How about you? Have you noticed anything unusual? Let us know in the comments.